Shakespeare's Histories, The King's Shadow, Episode 11.
Suppose that you have seen the well-appointed king at Dover Pier embark his royalty.
And his brave fleet, with silken streamers the young Phoebus fanning. Play with your fancies, and in them behold upon the hempen tackle ship boys climbing.
Hear the shrill whistle, behold the threatened sails. Grapple your minds to sternage of this navy, and leave your England as dead midnight still.
Guarded with grandsires, babies and old women, are the past or not arrived to pith and puissance.
For who is he whose chin is but enriched with one appearing hair that will not follow these culled and choice-drawn cavaliers to France?
King Henry V has taken his army across the sea, engaging in a foreign broil in order to avoid the civil dispute of his father's reign. His brothers, the Duke of Bedford and the Duke of Gloucester, fight with him. His former friends from the Boar's Head Tavern, Bardolph, Pistol, Nym, and Peto, are pressed into service as well. With thousands of troops coming from across England, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland, Henry menaces the important seaport of Harfleur.
Oh, death, rock me asleep. Bring me unquiet rest. Yet cast my guiltless ghost out of my careful breast. Roll on the passing bell, ring out the doleful knell. Let the sound of my death tell, for I must die, for now I die.
Work your thoughts, and therein see a siege. Behold the ordnance on their carriages, with fatal mouths gaping on girded Harfleur.
Suppose the ambassador from the French comes back, tells Harry that the king doth offer him Catherine, his daughter, and with her to dowry some petty and unprofitable dukedoms.
The offer likes not.
And the nimble gunner with linstock now the devilish cannon touches.
And down goes all before them.
Still be kind, and eke out our performance with your mind.
Though defending with only a few hundred soldiers, the French hold off the English invaders for over a month. In response, King Henry orders the digging of mines underneath the city's walls, intending to collapse the tunnels and weaken French defenses. With heavy artillery, the English finally blast through the outer walls of Harfleur, providing a path into the first round of fortifications.
Once more unto the breach, dear friends, once more! Or close the wallop with our English dead. In peace, there's nothing so becomes a soul as modest stillness and humility. But when the blast of war blows in our ears, then imitate the action of the tiger. Stiffen the sinews, summon up the blood, disguise fair nature with hard-favored rage. Then lend the eye a terrible aspect. Now set the teeth and stretch the nostril wide. Hold hard the breath and bend up every spirit to its full height. On! On, you noblest English! Dishonor not your mothers. Now attest that those whom you call fathers did beget you. Be copy now to those of grosser blood and teach them how to war! And you, good yeoman, whose limbs were made in England, show us here the mettle of your pasture. Let us swear that you are worth your breeding, which I doubt not. For there is none of you so mean and base that hath not noble luster in your eyes. Follow your spirit, and upon this charge cry, God for Harry, England, and St. George!
On to the breach, to the breach!
Oh, prithee, Lord will stay. The knocks are too hot, and for mine own part I have not a case of lives.
Would I were in an alehouse in London. I would give all my honor for a pot of ale in safety.
And I...
Up to the breach! Up to the breach, you dogs! Avant, you
Be merciful, great Duke, to men of mould! Abate thy rage, abate thy manly rage, abate thy rage, great Duke, use lenity, sweet. These be good humors, your honor wins bad humors.
As young as I am, I have observed these three swashers. I am boy to them all three, but all they three, though they would serve me, could not be man to me.
For indeed, three such antics do not amount to a man. For Bardolph, he is white-livered and red-faced, by the means whereof he faces it out, but fights not. For Pistol, well, he hath a killing tongue and a quiet sword, by the means whereof he breaks words and keeps whole weapons. For Nym, he hath heard that men of few words are the best men, and therefore he scorns to say his prayers, lest he should be thought a coward. But his few bad words are matched with his few good deeds, for he never broke any man's head but his own, and that was against a post, when he was drunk. They will steal anything and call it purchase. I must leave them and seek some better service.
Captain Llewellyn, you must come presently to the mines. The Duke of Gloucester would speak with you.
To the mines? Captain Gower, tell you the Duke it is not so good to come to the mines, for look you, the mines is not according to the disciplines of the war. The concavities of it is not sufficient for, look you, the adversary. By Jesu, I think he will blow up all if there is not better directions.
The Duke of Gloucester, to whom the order of the siege is given, is altogether directed by an Irishman, a very valiant gentleman of faith.
It is Captain MacMorris, is it not?
I think it be.
By Jesu, he is an ass as in the world. He has no more directions in the true disciplines of the wars, look you, of the Roman disciplines, than is a puppy dog.
Here he comes, and the Scots captain, Captain Jamie, with him.
Captain Jamie is a marvellous, valorous soldier, that is certain, and of great expedition and knowledge in the ancient wars. By Jesu, she will maintain her argument as well as any military man in the world in the disciplines of the pristine wars of the Romans.
I say good day, Captain Llewellyn.
Good den to your worship, good Captain James.
How now, Captain MacMorris? Have you quit the mines?
Be Christ! La! 'Tis ill done. The work is give over. The trumpet signed the retreat. He would have blowed up the Tyne, so Christ save me la in an ire. Oh, 'tis ill done. 'Tis ill done. Bay me hand, 'tis ill done.
Captain MacMorris, I beseech you now, will you vouchsafe me, look you, a few disputations with you as partly touching or concerning the disciplines of the war, the Roman wars?
'Tis no time to discourse, so Christ save me. The Tyne is besieged, and the trumpet call us to the breach, and we talk, and be Christ do ye nothing. 'Tis shame for us all.
By the mess, ere these eyes of mine take themselves to slumber, I'll do good service, or I'll lose the grin for it. Aye, or go to death, and I'll pay it as valorously as I may. That shall I surely do. That is the breath and the lung.
Captain MacMorris, I think, look you, under your correction, there is not many of your nation...
Me nation? What is me nation? It's a villain, and a bastard, and a knave, and a rascal. What is me nation? Who talks of me nation?
Look you, if you take the matter otherwise than is meant, Captain MacMorris, peradventure, I shall think you do not use me with that affability as in discretion you ought to use me. Look you, being as good a man as yourself, both in the disciplines of war and in the derivation of my birth and in other particularities.
I do not know you so good a man as myself. So Christ save me, I will cut off your head!
Gentlemen both, you will mistake each other.
Ah, that's a fool fault.
The town sounds a parley.
Captain MacMorris, when there is more better opportunity to be required, look you, I will be so bold as to tell you I know the disciplines of war, and there is an end.
How yet resolves the governor of the town? This is the final parle we will admit. Therefore, to our best mercy, give yourselves, or, like to those proud of destruction, defy us to our worst. For as I am a soldier, a name that in my thoughts becomes me best, if we begin the battery once again, I will not leave the half-achieved Harfler till in her ashes she lie buried. Take pity of your town and of your people, whiles yet my soldiers are in my command. If not, why, in a moment, look to see the blind and bloody soldier with foul hand desire the locks of your shrill, shrieking daughters, your fathers, taken by the silver beards, and their most reverend heads dashed to the walls, your naked infants spitted upon pikes, whiles the mad mothers with their howls confused do break the clouds. What say you? Will you yield and this avoid, or guilty in defense be thus destroyed?
Our expectation hath this day an end. The Dauphin, whom of succours we entreated, returns us word his powers are yet not ready to raise so great a siege. Therefore, great King, we yield our town and lives to thy soft mercy. Enter our gates, dispose of us and ours, for we no longer are defensible.
Open your gates. Come, cousin Exeter, go you and enter Harfleur. There remain and fortify it strongly against the French. Use mercy to them all for us, dear aunt. The winter coming on and sickness growing upon our soldiers, we will retire to Calais. Tonight in Harfleur will we be your guest. Tomorrow for the march are we addressed.
The English army takes control of Harfleur, and King Henry installs a garrison. Before continuing on his march through France, Henry orders the municipal records burned and restricts future land ownership to the English. Princess Catherine of France knows that she could be married to Henry as part of a future peace treaty and should prepare herself for the language and culture of England.
Alice, tu as été en Angleterre et tu viens pas le langage.
Un peu, madame.
Je te prie, monseigneur. Il faut que j'apprenne à parler. Comment appelez-vous la main en anglais?
La main. Elle est appelée du hand.
Du hand et les doigts.
Les doigts. Ma foi, j'oublie les doigts. Mais je me souviendrai. Les doigts. Je pense que sont appelés du fingers. Oui, du fingers.
La main, de hand. Le doigt, le fingers. Je pense que je suis le et bon écolier. Je gagnais du mot d'anglais vitement. Comment appelez-vous les ongles?
Les ongles, nous les appelons de nails.
De nails. Écoutez, dites-moi si je parle bien. De hand, de fingers et de nails.
C'est bien dit, madame. Il est fort bon anglais.
Dites-moi l'anglais pour les bras.
Des armes, madame.
Et les coudes?
D'elbow.
D'elbow. Je me fais la répétition de tous les mots que vous m'avez appris dès à présent.
Il est trop difficile, madame, comme je pense.
Excusez-moi, Alice. Écoutez. Du hand, du finger, du nails, de arm, de
elbow, madame.
Oh, signor Dieu, je m'en oublie d'elbow. Comment appelez-vous l'école?
Du nick, madame.
Du nick. Et les mentons?
Du chin.
Du chin. Le cou du nick, le menton du chin.
Oui. C'est votre honneur. En vérité, vous prononcez les mots aussi droit que le natif d'Angleterre.
Je ne doute pas de prendre par la grâce de Dieu et un petit homme. Comment appelez-vous le pied et la robe?
Les foot, madame, et les coudes.
Les foot? Et les coudes? Oh, Seigneur Dieu, ils sont les mots de son mauvais, corruptible, grosse et impudique.
Je ne voudrais prononcer ces mots devant les signors de France pour tous les mots. Faux. Les fautes et les comptes. Ni à moi. Je réciterai une autre fois ma leçon d'ensemble des Andes, de vaincre, de Niles, de armes, d'elbow, d'unique, de signes, de foot et les comptes.
Excellente, madame.
C'était assez pour une fois à l'année ce dîner.
King Henry heads north towards Calais, hoping to restock his depleted army with supplies from England. The French leaders regroup and discuss their defense strategy.
'Tis certain he hath passed the river Somme.
And if he be not fought withal, my lady, let us not live in France. Let us quit all and give our vineyards to a barbarous people.
Normans. But bastard Normans. Oh. Norman bastards!
Yes!
Mort de ma fille, if they march along unfought withal, but I will sell my dukedom to buy a slobbery and a dirty farm in that nook-shotten Isle of Albion.
By faith and honor, our madams mock at us and plainly say our meadow is bred out, and they will give their bodies to the lust of English youth, to new store France with bastard warriors.
They bid us to the English dancing schools, saying our grace is only in our heels, and that we are most lofty runaways.
Où est mon joie, les rois? Speed her hence. Let her greet England with our sharp defiance. Levez-vous! And with spirit of honor edged, more sharper than your swords, hie to the field. Bar Harry England, that sweeps through our land with pinions painted in the blood of Harfleur. Go down upon him. You have power enough. And in a captive chariot into Rouen, bring him our prisoner.
Therefore, Lord Constable, haste on, Montjoie, and let her say to England that we send to know what willing ransom he will give. Now forth, Lord Constable, and princes all, and quickly let us hasten England's fall!
King Henry continues his march to Calais, but French forces thwart his attempts to cross the River Somme. The English venture further inland, looking for a new route over the river. Henry learns of a bridge and sends the Duchess of Exeter to capture it.
How now, Captain Fluellen? Come you from the bridge? Is the Duchess of Exeter safe?
She is not, God be praised and blessed, any hurt in the world, but keeps the bridge most valiantly. There is an ancient lieutenant there at the bridge. I think in my very conscience he is as valiant a man as Mark Antony.
What do you call him?
He's called Ancient Pistol.
I know him not.
Here comes the man.
Captain, I thee beseech to do me favours. The Duchess of Exeter doth love thee well?
Aye, I praise God, and I have merited some love at her hands.
Bardolph, a soldier firm and sound of heart, and of buxom valour, hath by cruel fate and giddy fortune's furious fickle wheel, that goddess blind that stands upon the rolling restless
By your patience,
stones.
Ancient Pistol, Fortune, look you, is painted blind, with a muffler before her eyes, to signify to you that Fortune is blind, and she is moreover painted with a wheel to signify to you, which is the moral, that she is turning and inconstant, and mutability and variation.
Fortune is Bardolph's foe, and frowns on him, for he hath stolen a pax of little price, and hanged must he be. A damned death. Let gallows gape for dogs. Let man go free, and let not hemp his windpipe suffocate. Therefore, go speak. The Duchess will hear thy voice, and let not Bardolph's vital thread be cut with edge of penny-cord and vile reproach. Speak, Captain, for his life, and I will thee requite.
Ancient Pistol, I do partly understand your meaning.
Why then, rejoice therefore.
Certainly, Ancient Pistol, it is not a thing to rejoice at. For if, look you, he were my own brother, I would desire the Duchess to do her good pleasure and put him to execution, for disciplines ought to be kept.
Die and be damned, and figo for thy friendship.
It is well.
The fig of Spain!
Why, this is the ancient you told me of? An errant counterfeit rascal. I remember him now. He is a bawd, a cutpurse.
I'll assure you he uttered as brave words at the bridge as you shall see in a summer's day.
Why, 'tis a gull, a fool, a rogue that goes to the wars only to grace himself at his return to London under the form of a soldier. You must learn to know such slanders of this age, or else you may be marvelously mistook.
I tell you what, Captain Gower, I do perceive he is not the man that he would gladly make show to the world he is. If I find a hole in his coat, I will tell him my mind. Hark you, the king is coming, and I must speak with him from the bridge. God bless your majesty.
How now, Llewellyn, come you from the bridge? How many of you lost?
The petition of the adversary hath been very great, reasonable great. Marry, for my part, I think that Duchess hath lost never any but one that is like to be executed for robbing a church. One Pardolph, if your majesty know the man. His face is all boo-bunkles and whelks and knobs and flames of fire, but his nose is executed and his fire's out.
We would have all such offenders so cut off. And we give express charge that in our marches through the country there be nothing compelled from the villages, nothing taken but paid for. For when lenity and cruelty play for a kingdom, the gentler gamester is the soonest winner.
You know me by my habit.
Well then, we know thee. What shall we know of thee?
My sovereign's mind.
Unfold it.
Thus says my king, say thou to Harry of England, though we seemed dead, we did but sleep. Advantage is a better soldier than rashness. Tell him we could have rebuked him at Harfleur, but that we thought not good to bruise an injury till it were full ripe.
Now we speak upon our cue, and our voice is imperial. England shall repent his folly, see his weakness, and admire our sufferance.
Bid him therefore consider of his ransom, which must proportion the losses we have borne, the subjects we have lost, the disgrace we have digested, which, in wait to re-answer, his pettiness would bow under.
For our losses, his exchequer is too poor, and for our disgrace, his own person kneeling at our feet but a weak and worthless satisfaction. To this, add defiance, and tell him, for conclusion, he hath betrayed his followers, whose condemnation is pronounced. So far my king, so much my office.
What is thy name? I know thy quality.
Montjoie.
Thou dost thy office fairly. Turn thee back, and tell thy king I do not seek him now, and could be willing to march on to Calais without impeachment. For, to say the sooth, my soldiers are with sickness much enfeebled, my numbers lessened, and those few I have almost no better than so many French. Go, therefore, tell thy sovereign, here I am. My ransom is this frail and worthless trunk, my army but a weak and sickly guard, yet God before, tell him we will come on, though France himself and such another neighbor stand in our way. There's for thy labor, Montjoy. Go bid thy sovereign well advise himself. If we may pass, we will. If we be hindered, we shall your tawny ground with your red blood discolour. And so, Montjoy, fare you well.
I shall deliver so. Thanks to your highness.
I hope they will not come upon us now.
We are in God's hand, brother, not in theirs. March to the bridge. It now draws toward night. Beyond the river we'll encamp ourselves, and on tomorrow bid them march away.
Oh, tut! I have the best armor of the world. Would it were day.
You have an excellent armor, but let my horse have his due.
It is the best horse of Europe.
Will it never be morning?
My Lady Orleans and my Lord High Constable. You talk of horse and armor.
You are as well provided of both as any prince in the world.
I will not change my horse with any that treads but on four pasterns. Sa! Ha! When I bestride him, I soar. The earth sings when he touches it.
He's of the color of the nutmeg.
And of the heat of the ginger. It is a beast for Perseus. He is pure air and fire. He is indeed a horse, and all other jades you may call
beasts.
Indeed, my lord, it is a most absolute and excellent horse.
It is the Prince of Palfreys. His neigh is like the bidding of a monarch, and his countenance enforces homage.
No more, cousin.
Nay, the man hath no wit that cannot, from the rising of the lark to the lodging of the lamb, very deserved praise on my palfrey. I once writ a sonnet in his praise, and began thus. Merveille de la nature.
I have heard a sonnet begin so to one's mistress.
Then did they imitate that which I composed to my courser, for my horse is my mistress.
Oh, your mistress bears well.
Me well, which is the prescript praise and perfection of a good and particular mistress.
Nay, for methought yesterday your mistress shrewdly shook your back.
So perhaps did yours.
Mine was not bridled.
Oh, then belike she was old and gentle.
Oh, well, you have good judgment in horsemanship.
I had rather have my horse to my mistress.
I had as lief have my mistress a jade.
Will it never be day? Oh, I will trot tomorrow a mile, and my way shall be paved with English faces. 'Tis midnight. I'll go arm myself. Hey! Triomphe la France!
The Dauphin longs for morning.
He longs to eat the English.
I think he will eat all he kills.
He is simply the most active gentleman of France.
Doing his activity, and he will still be doing.
He never did harm that I heard of.
Nor will do none tomorrow. He will keep that good name still.
I know him to be exceedingly valiant.
I was told that by one that knows him better than you.
What's he?
Marry. He told me so himself. And he said he cared not who knew it. Oh, would it were day. Alas, poor Harry of England. He longs not for the dawning as we do. If the English had any apprehension, they would run away. Now is it time to arm. Come, shall we about it?
It is now 2:00, but let me see. By 10, we shall have each 100 Englishmen. Triomphe pour la France!
Oh, that we might read the book of fate and see the revolution of our time, ere the continent melt itself into the sea.
Now entertain conjecture of a time when creeping murmur and the pouring dark fills the wide vessel of the universe.
From camp to camp, through the foul womb of night, the hum of either army stilly sounds, that the fixed sentinels almost receive the secret whispers of each other's watch.
The armorers, accomplishing the night, with busy hammers closing rivets up, give dreadful note of preparation.
Proud of their numbers and secure in soul, the confident and overlusty French do the low-rated English play at dice, and chide the sluggish, tardy-gated knight.
The poor condemned English, like sacrifices by their watchful fires, sit patiently and inly ruminate the morning's danger.
Oh, now who will behold the royal captain of this ruined band, walking from watch to watch, from tent to tent, for forth he goes and visits all his host, bids them good morrow with a modest smile, and calls them brothers, friends, and countrymen.
Upon his royal face there is no note how dread an army hath enrounded him, but freshly looks and overbears a taint with cheerful semblance and sweet majesty, that every wretch, pining and pale before, beholding him, plucks comfort from his looks.
A largess universal, like the sun, his liberal eye doth give to everyone, thawing cold fear that mean and gentle all behold, as may unworthiness define.
A little touch of Harry in the night. Oh, that this were seen, the happiest youth would shut the book and sit him down and die, ere the continent melt itself into the the sea.
And so our scene must to the battle fly,
where, oh, for pity, we shall much disgrace, with 4 or 5 most vile and ragged foils, right ill disposed in brawl ridiculous, the name of Agincourt.
Yet sit and see, minding true things by what their mockeries be.
Gloucester, 'tis true that we are in great danger. The greater, therefore, should our courage be. Good morrow, brother Bedford. God Almighty, there is some soul of goodness in things evil, for our bad neighbor makes us early stirrers, which is both healthful and good husbandry. Good morrow, old Sir Thomas Erpingham. A good soft pillow for that good white head were better than a churlish turf of France.
Not so, my liege. This lodging likes me better, since I may say, now lie I like a king.
'Tis good for men to love their present pains upon example, so the spirit is eased. Lend me thy cloak, Sir Thomas. Brothers both, commend me to the princes in our camp, do my good morrow to them, and anon desire them all to my pavilion.
We shall, my liege.
Shall I attend your grace?
No, my good knight. I and my bosom must debate a while, and then I would no other company.
The Lord in heaven bless thee, noble Harry.
God a mercy, old heart, thou speakst cheerfully.
Qui vus la?
Friend.
Discuss unto me, art thou officer, or art thou base, common, and popular?
I am a gentleman of a company. What are you?
As good a gentleman as the emperor.
Then you are a better than the king.
The king's a bawcock and a heart of gold, a lad of life, an imp of fame, of parents good, a fist most valiant. I kiss his dirty shoe, and from heartstring, I love the lovely bully. What is thy name?
Harry Leroy.
Leroy. A Cornish name. Art thou of Cornish crew?
No, sir, I'm a Welshman.
Know'st thou Fluellen?
Yes.
Tell him I'll knock his leek about his pate upon St. Davy's Day.
Do not you wear your dagger in your cap that day, lest he knock that about yours.
Art thou his friend?
And his kinsman, too.
The figo for thee, then.
I thank you. God be with you.
My name is Pistol Cold.
It sorts well with your fierceness.
Captain Fluellen.
So, in the name of Jesu Christ, speak fewer. If you would take the pains but to examine the wars of Pompey the Great, you shall find, I warrant you, that there is no diddle-taddle, no bibble-babble in Pompey's camp.
Why, the enemy is loud. You heard him all night.
If the enemy is an ass and a fool and a prating coxcomb, is it meet, think you, that we should also, look you, be an ass and a fool and a prating coxcomb in your own conscience now?
I will speak lower.
I pray you and beseech you that you will.
Though it appear a little out of fashion, there is much care and valor in this Welshman.
A cup of wine that's brisk and fine, come and join our songer, and lives longer.
Is not that the morning which breaks yonder?
I think it be, but we have no great cause to desire the approach of day.
We see yonder the beginning of the day, but I think we shall never see the end of it. Who goes there?
A friend.
Under what captain serve you?
Under Sir Thomas Erpingham.
A good old commander, and a most kind gentleman. I pray you, what thinks he of our estate?
Even as those racked upon a sand, that look to be washed off the next tide.
He hath not told his thought to the king.
No, nor it is not meet he should, for though I speak it to you, I think the king is but a man as I am. Therefore, when he sees reasons of fears as we do, his fears, out of doubt, be of the same relish as ours are. Yet, in reason, no man should possess him with any appearance of fear, lest he, by showing it, should dishearten his army.
He may show what outward courage he will, but I believe, as cold as night as 'tis, he could wish himself in Thames up to the neck, and so I would he were, and I by him, so we were quit here.
I think he would not wish himself anywhere but where he is.
Then I would he were here alone. So should he be sure to be ransomed, and a many a poor life saved.
I dare say you love him not so ill to wish him here alone, howsoever you speak this to feel others' minds. Methinks I could not die anywhere so contented as in the king's company, his cause being just, and his quarrel honourable.
That's more than we know.
Aye, or more than we should seek after, for we know enough. If we know we are the king's subjects. If his cause be wrong, our obedience to the king wipes the crime of it out of us.
But if the cause be not good, the king himself hath a heavy reckoning to make. When all those legs and arms and heads chopped off in a battle shall join together at the latter day and cry all, "We died at such a place." Some swearing, some crying for a surgeon, some upon their wives left poor behind them, some upon the debts they owe, some upon their children, rawly left. I am afeard there are few die well that die in a battle. For how can they charitably dispose of anything when blood is their argument? Now, if they do not die well, it will be a heavy matter for the king that led them to it, who to disobey were against all proportion of subjection.
So, if a son that is by his father sent about merchandise do sinfully miscarry upon the sea, the imputation of his wickedness by your rule should be imposed upon his father that sent him. But this is not so. The king is not bound to answer the particular endings of his soldiers, nor the father of his son, for they purpose not their death when they purpose their services. Besides, there is no king, be his cause never so spotless, if it come to the arbitrament of swords, can try it out with all unspotted soldiers. War is God's beadle. War is God's vengeance, so that here subjects are punished for before breach of the king's laws. Every subject's duty is the king's, but every subject's soul is their own.
'Tis certain. Everyone that dies ill, the ill upon their own head. The king is not to answer it.
I myself heard the king say he would not be ransomed.
Aye, he said so to make us fight cheerfully, but when our throats are cut, he may be ransomed and we ne'er the wiser.
If I live to see it, I'll never trust his word after.
You pay him then. That's a perilous shot out of an elder gun that a poor and a private displeasure can do against a monarch. You may as well go about to turn the sun to ice with fanning in his face with a peacock's feather. You'll never trust his word. Come, 'tis a foolish saying.
Silly.
Your reproof is something too round. I should be angry with you if the time were convenient.
Let it be a quarrel between us, if you live.
I embrace it.
How shall I know thee again?
Give me any gauge of thine, and I'll wear it in my bonnet. Then, if ever thou darest acknowledge it, I'll make it my quarrel.
Here's my glove. Give me another of thine.
There. If ever I live to see it, I'll challenge it.
Keep thy word. Fare thee well.
Be friends, you English fools. Be friends. We have French quarrels enough, if you could tell how to reckon.
Upon the king. Let us our lives, our souls, our children, and our sins lay on the king. We must bear all. What infinite heart's ease must kings neglect that private men enjoy? And what have kings that privates have not too? Save ceremony, save general ceremony. And what art thou, thou idle ceremony? Oh, ceremony, show me but thy worth. Canst thou, when thou command'st the beggar's knee, command the health of it? No, thou proud dream, that plays so subtly with a king's repose. I am a king that find thee, and I know 'tis not the balm, the scepter, and the ball, the sword, the mace, the crown imperial, the throne he sits on, nor the tide of pomp that beats upon the high shore of this world. Not all these, laid in bed majestical, can sleep so soundly as the wretched peasant, who with a body filled and vacant mind gets him to rest, crammed with distressful bread. And, but for ceremony, such a wretch, winding up days with toil and nights with sleep, had the forehand and vantage of a king.
My lord, your nobles, jealous of your absence, seek through your camp to find you.
Good old knight, collect them all together at my tent. I'll be before thee.
I shall do it, my lord.
O God of battles, steel my soldiers' hearts. Possess them not with fear. Take from them now the sense of reckoning of the opposed numbers. No, not today. Think not upon the fault my father made encompassing the crown. I, Richard's body, have interred new, and on it have bestowed more contrite tears than from it issued forced drops of blood. 500 poor I have in yearly pay, who twice a day their withered hands hold up toward heaven to pardon blood. And I have built 2 chantries, where the sad and solemn priest sings still for Richard's soul. More will I do, though all that I can do is nothing worth, since that my penitence comes after all, imploring pardon.
My liege?
My brother Gloucester's voice. I know thy errand. I will go with thee. The day my friends and all things stay for me.
The sun doth gild our armor. Up, my lords!
Monte, cheval, my horse, varlet, laquais, ha!
Oh, brave spirit!
To horse, you gallant princes, straight to horse! There is not work enough for all our hands, scarce blood enough in all their sickly veins to give each naked curtal axe a stain. Let us but blow on them. The vapor of our valor will o'erturn them. A very little let us do, and all is done. Then let the trumpets sound, the tucket sonnets, and the note to mount, for our approach shall so much dare the field that England shall couch down in fear and yield. Triumph, Paul of France! Triumph, Paul of France!
Where is the king?
The king himself is rode to view their battle.
Of fighting troops, they have full 70,000.
That's 5 to 1. Besides, they all are fresh.
God's arms strike with us. 'Tis a fearful odds. God be with you, princes all. I'll do my charge. If we no more meet till we meet in heaven, then joyfully, my noble lord of Bedford, my dear Lord Gloucester, and good Lady Exeter, warriors all, adieu.
Farewell, good Talbot, and good luck go with thee.
Farewell, kind lord. Fight valiantly today.
Oh, that we now had here but 1/10,000 of those souls in England that do no work today.
Who's that wishes so? My cousin Westmoreland. No, my fair cousin. If we are marked to die, we are enough to do our country loss, and if to live, the fewer souls, the greater share of honor. We will not die in that man's company that fears his fellowship to die with us. This day is called the Feast of Crispian. He that outlives this day and comes safe home will stand a tiptoe when this day is named, and rouse him at the name of Crispian. They that shall see this day and live old age will yearly on the vigil feast their neighbors, and say, "Tomorrow is St. Crispian." Then will she strip her sleeve and show her scars, and say, "These wounds I had on Crispin's day." Old men forget, yet all shall be forgot. But he'll remember with advantages what feats he did that day. Then shall our names, familiar in his mouth as household words, Harry the King, Bedford and Exeter, York and Talbot, Westmoreland and Gloucester, be in their flowing cups freshly remembered. This story shall the good man teach his son, and Crispian shall ne'er go by from this day to the ending of the world. But we in it shall be remembered. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother. Be they ne'er so vile, this day shall gentle their condition. And gentlemen in England now abed shall think themselves accursed they were not here, and hold their manhoods cheap, whiles any speaks that fought with us upon St. Crispin's Day.
My sovereign lord, bestow yourself with speed. The French are bravely in their battle set and will with all expedients charge on us.
All things are ready, if our minds be so.
Perish them all whose mind is backward now.
Thou dost not wish more help from England, cuz?
God's will, my liege, would you and I alone, without more help, could fight this royal battle.
Why, now thou hast unwished 5,000 men, which likes me better than to wish us one. You know your places. God be with you all.
Once more I come to know of thee, King Harry, if for thy ransom thou wilt now compound, before thy most assured overthrow.
I pray thee bear my former answer back. Bid them achieve me, and then sell my bones. Come thou no more for ransom, gentle herald. They shall have none, I swear, but these my joints, which if they have, as I will leave 'em them, shall yield them little.
I shall, King Harry, and so fare thee well. Thou never shalt hear Harold any more.
My lord, most humbly on my knee I beg the leading of the vanguard.
Take it, brave York. Now, soldiers, march away. And how thou pleasest God, dispose the day!
King Henry groups the English troops into three forces. The Duke of York commands the vanguard on the right, Henry leads the center formation, and the Countess Westmoreland heads the rear guard on the left. Sir Thomas Erpingham directs the English archers in releasing a storm of arrows onto the French troops. The day is long, the field is muddy, but the English drive back the French.
Go, diable! Mort de ma vie! All is confounded, all! Reproach and everlasting shame sits mocking in our plumes. Oh, méchant fortune! Do not run away! Why, all our ranks are broke! Oh, perdurable shame! Let's stab ourselves.
Is this the king we sent to for his
Shame,
ransom?
an eternal shame, nothing but shame. Let us die, and once more, back again!
Disorder that hath spoiled us, rend us now! Let us on heaps go offer up our lives!
We are enough yet living in the field to smother up the English in our throngs, if any order might be thought upon.
The devil take order now! All to the throng! Let life be short, else shame will be too long! Triomphe pour la France!
Triomphe pour la France!
The two armies clash in hand-to-hand combat. The French are encumbered by their heavy armor, sinking into the earth soft from heavy rain. The English, who are more lightly equipped, can quickly reach them and cut their throats. Pistol, attempting to avoid the vicious battle, comes across a fleeing French soldier.
Yield, cur! Je pense que vous êtes le gentilhomme de bonne qualité.
Art thou a gentleman? What is thy name? Discuss.
Oh, Signor Dieu!
Oh, Signor Dieu should be a gentleman. Prepend my words, O Signor Dieu, and mark, O Signor Dieu, thou diest on point of fox, except, O Signor, thou do give to me egregious ransom.
Oh, prenez miséricorde! Ayez pitié de moi!
Moys shall not serve. I will have 40 moys, or I will fetch thy rim out at thy throat in drops of crimson blood.
Oh, pardonnez-moi!
Say'st thou me so? Is that a ton of moys, or... come hither, boy. Ask me this knave, in French, what is his name?
Écoutez, comment êtes-vous appelé?
Oh, Monsieur Lefebvre.
He says his name is Master Fur.
Oh, Master Fur. I'll fur him, and furk him, and ferret him. Discuss the same in French unto him.
I do not know the French for fur and ferret and furk.
Bid him prepare, for I will cut his throat.
Que dit-il, monsieur?
Il me commande à vous dire que vous faites-vous prêt, car ce soldat ici est disposé tout à cette heure de... couper votre gorge.
Owie! Coupe la gorge, permafoy, peasant, unless thou give me crowns. Brave crowns, or mangled shalt thou be by this my sword.
Oh, je vous supplie pour l'amour de Dieu, mais pardonnez. Je suis le gentilhomme des bonnes maisons. Gardez ma vie, et je vous donnerai 200 écus.
What are his words?
He prays you to save his life. He is a gentleman of good house, and for his ransom, he will give you 200 crowns.
Oh, tell him my fury shall abate, and I the crowns will take.
Petit monsieur, que dit-il?
Encore qu'il est contre son jurement de pardonner aucun prisonnier. Néanmoins, pour les écus que vous lui avez promis, il est content à vous donner la liberté. Le franchissement.
Sir, mes genoux, je vous donne 1000 remerciements. Je m'estime heureux que je tombais entre les mains d'un chevalier. Oh, je pense le plus brave, vaillant et très distingué seigneur d'Angleterre.
Expound unto me, boy.
He gives you upon his knees 1,000 thanks, and he esteems himself happy that he hath fallen into the hands of one, as he thinks, the most brave, valorous, and thrice worthy Signor of England.
As I suck blood, I will some mercy show. Follow me.
Suivez-vous le grand capitaine? I did never know so full a voice issue from so empty a heart. But the saying is true. The empty vessel makes the greatest sound. Bardolph and Nym had 10 times more valor than this roaring devil. They are both hanged. And so would this be if he durst steal anything adventurously. I must stay with the lackeys with the luggage of our camp. The French might have a good prey of us if they knew of it, for there is none to guard it but boys.
Farewell, my pleasures past. Welcome my present pain. I feel my torments increase, that life cannot remain. Toll on the passing bell, ring out the doleful knell. Let the sound my death tell, for I must die. Now I pay.
King Henry's army defeats the French vanguard, and there's a cessation in the fighting. The English capture several prisoners from the piles of wounded soldiers, hoping to return them for sizable ransoms.
Well have we done, thrice valiant countrymen, but all's not done, yet keep the French the field.
The Duke of York commends him to your majesty.
Lives he, good Exeter? Thrice within this hour I saw him down, thrice up again, and fighting. From helmet to the spur, all blood he was.
In which array, brave soldier, doth he lie, larding the plains? And by his bloody side the noble Earl of Suffolk also lies. Suffolk first died, and York, all haggled over, comes to him where in gore he lay ensteeped. He cries aloud, "Tarry, my cousin Suffolk, my soul shall thine keep company to heaven." Upon these words I came and cheered him up. He smiled me in the face, wrought me his hand, and with a feeble grip says, "Dear my lady, commend my service to my sovereign." So did he turn, and over Suffolk's neck he threw his wounded arm and kissed his lips, and so, espoused to death, with blood he sealed a testament of never-ending love. The pretty and sweet manner of it forced and gave me up to tears.
I blame you not. For hearing this, I must perforce compound with my full eyes, or they will issue too. But hark, what new alarm is this same? The French have reinforced their scattered troops. Bid every soldier kill their prisoners. Give the word through.
Couple gorge.
Oh, pitié de moi.
God's blood, kill the boys and the luggage. 'Tis expressly against the law of arms. 'Tis as errant a piece of knavery, mark you now, as can be offered in your conscience now, is it not?
'Tis certain there's not a boy left alive, and the cowardly rascals that ran from the battle themselves have done this slaughter. Besides, they have burned and carried away all that was in the king's tent, whereupon the king, most worthily, hath caused every soldier to cut their prisoner's throat.
Aye, he was pulling at Monmouth, Captain Gower. What call you the town's name where Alexander the Pig was born?
Alexander the Great?
Well, I pray you, is not Pig great? The big or the great or the mighty or the huge or the magnanimous are all one reckonings, save the phrase is a little variations.
I think Alexander the Great was born in Macedon. His father was called Philip of Macedon, as I take it.
I think it is in Macedon where Alexander is born. If you mark Alexander's life well, Harry of Monmouth's life is come after it indifferent well, for there is figures in all things. Alexander, God knows, and you know, in his rages and his furies, and also being a little intoxicates in his brains, did, in his ales and his angers, look you, kill his best friend Clitus.
Well, our king is not like him in that, for he never killed any of his friends.
It is not well done, mark you now, to take the tales out of my mouth ere it is made and finished. As Alexander killed his friend Clitus, being in his ales and his cups, so also Harry Monmouth, our king, being in his right wits and his good judgments, turned away the fat knight with the great-bellied doublet. He was full of jests and jibes and knaveries and mocks. I have forgot his name.
Sir John Falstaff.
I think it is Sir John Falstaff indeed. I can tell you there is good men born at Monmouth.
Here comes His Majesty.
I was not angry since I came to France until this instant. Take a trumpet, Captain. Ride thou unto the horsemen on yond hill. If they will fight with us, bid them come down, or void the field. They do offend our sight. If they'll do neither, we will come to them. Besides, we'll cut the throats of those we have, and not a soul of them that we shall take shall taste our mercy. Go and tell them so.
Here comes the herald of the French, my liege.
Her eyes are humbler than they used to be.
Comest thou again for ransom?
No, great king. I come to thee for charitable license, that we may wander o'er this bloody field to book our dead and then to bury them. For many of our princes, oh, the while, lie drowned and soaked in mercenary blood. So do our vulgar drench their peasant limbs in blood of princes. Oh, give us leave, great king, to view the field in safety and dispose of their dead bodies.
I tell thee truly, herald, I know not if the day be ours or no.
The day is yours.
Praised be God, and not our strength for it. What is this castle called that stands hard by?
We call it Azincourt.
Then call we this the field of Agincourt, fought on the day of Crispin Crispianus.
Your grandfather of famous memory, and please your majesty, and your great-uncle Edward, the Black Prince of Wales, as I have read in the chronicles, fought a most brave battle here in France.
They did, Llewellyn.
If your majesties is remembered of it, the Welsh did good service in a garden where leeks did grow, wearing leeks in their Monmouth caps, which your majesty know to this hour is an honourable badge of the service. And I think your majesty takes no scorn to wear the leek upon St. Davy's Day.
I wear it for a memorable honour, for I am Welsh, you know, good countryman.
By Jesu, I am your majesty's countryman, I care not who know it. I will confess it to all the world. I need not to be ashamed of your majesty. Praised be God, so long as your majesty is an honest man.
God keep me so. Exeter, go with Montjoy. Bring me just notice of the numbers dead on both our parts. Call yonder fellow hither.
Soldier, you must come to the king.
Fellow, why wearest thou that glove in thy cap?
And please your majesty, 'tis the gage of one that I should fight withal if he be alive.
An Englishman?
And please your majesty, a rascal that swaggered with me last night, who, if alive, and ever dared to challenge this glove, I have sworn to take him a box of the ear.
What think you, Captain Llewellyn? Is it fit this soldier keep his oath? It may be his enemy is a gentleman of great sort, quite from the answer of his degree.
Though he be as good a gentleman as the devil is, it is necessary, look your grace, that he keep his vow and his oath.
Then keep thy vow, sirrah, when thou meet'st the fellow.
So I will, my liege, as I live.
Who servest thou under?
Under Captain Gower, my liege.
Call her hither to me, soldier.
I will, my liege.
Here, Llewellyn, wear thou this favour for me. When Alanson and myself are down together, I plucked this glove from his helm. If any man challenge this, he is a friend to Alanson and an enemy to our person. If thou encounter any such, apprehend him, and thou dost love me.
Your grace does me as great honours as can be desired in the hearts of his subjects.
Knowest thou Gower?
She is my dear friend, and please you.
Pray thee, go seek her, and bring her to tent.
I will fetch her.
My brother Gloucester, Follow Fluellen closely at the heels. The glove which I have given him for a favour may happily purchase him a box of the ear. It is the soldiers. I by bargain should wear it myself. Follow, and see there be no harm between them.
God's will and his pleasure, Captain, I beseech you now, come apace to the king. There is more good toward you, peradventure, than is in your knowledge to dream of.
Sir, know you this glove?
Know the glove? I know the glove is a glove.
I know this, and thus I challenge it.
Look! Blood! An errant traitor as any in the universal world, or in France or in England!
Do you think I'll be forsworn?
Stand away, Captain Gower, stand away. I will give treason his payment into blows, I warrant you.
I am no traitor.
That's a lie in thy throat. I charge you in his majesty's name, apprehend him. He's a friend of the Duke Alanson's.
How now? What's the matter?
My lord of Gloucester, here is, pleased be God for it, a most contagious treason come to light. Look you, as you shall desire in a summer's day. Here is his majesty.
How now? What's the matter?
My liege, here is a villain and a traitor that, look your grace, has struck the glove which your majesty has take out of the helmet of Alanson.
My liege, this was my glove. Here is the fellow of it. And he that I gave it to in change promised to wear it in his cap. I promised to strike him if he did. I met this man with my glove in his cap, and I have been as good as my word.
Give me thy glove, soldier. Look, here's the fellow of it. 'Twas I, indeed, thou promised to strike, and thou hast given me most bitter terms. How canst thou make me satisfaction?
All offences, my lord, come from the heart. Never came any from mine that might offend your majesty.
It was ourself thou didst abuse.
Your majesty came not like yourself. You appeared to me but as a common man. Witness the night, your garments, your lowliness. And whatsoever your highness suffered under that shape, I beseech you, take it for your own fault and not mine, for had you been as you seemed, I made no offense. Therefore, I beseech your highness, pardon me.
Your face. Here, Westmoreland, fill this glove with crowns and give it to this fellow. Keep it, fellow, and wear it for an honor in thy cap till I do challenge it. Yeah. Give him the crowns.
I will none of your money.
Now, cousin, are the dead numbered?
Here is the number of the slaughtered French.
What prisoners of good sort are taken, aunt?
The Duchess Orleans, niece to the king, John, Duke of Bourbon, and Lord Boucicault. Of other lords and barons, knights and squires, full 1,500, besides common men.
This note doth tell me of 10,000 French that in the field lie slain. The names of those their nobles that lie dead: Charles Delabreth, High Constable of France; James of Chatillon, Admiral of France; the Master of the Crossbows, Lord Rambures; Great Master of France, the brave Sir Guichard Dauphin; John, Duke of Alençon; Anthony, Duke of Brabant, the brother to the Duke of Burgundy; and Edward, Duke of Bar; of lusty earls, Grand Prix and Roussy, Falconbridge and Foys, Beaumont and Marle, Vaudemont and Lestrade. Here was a royal fellowship of death. Where is the number of our English dead? Edward, the Duke of York, the Earl of Suffolk, Sir Richard Keeley, Davy Gam, Esquire. None else of name, and of all other souls but 25. O God, thy arm was here, and not to us, but to thy arm alone ascribe we all.
'Tis wonderful.
Let there be sung non nobis and Te Deum, the dead with charity enclosed in clay, and then to Calais, and to England then, where ne'er from France arrived more happy men.
Non nobis Domine. Non nobis Domine.
Rabelais, grand connétable de France.
Jacques de Châtillon de Dampierre, Amiral de France.
David de Rambert, maître des arbalatriers.
Guy Charles Dauphin d'Auvergne, grand maître de France.
Jean d'Alençon le Sage.
Antoine de Valois et de Bourgogne, duc de Brabant.
Édouard III, duc de Bar, marquis de Pont-de-Mousson.
Édouard le Premier, comte de Grand-Pré.
Jean VI, comte de Roussy.
Valorant de Renval, comte de Fauquemberg.
Isabella, comtesse de Foix.
Duc de Blamont et Robert de Bar, comte de Mar.
Frédéric de Lorraine, comte de Vaudemont.
No nobis Domine. No nobis Domine. Sed nomini tuo da gloriam.
You've been listening to Shakespeare's Histories, Season 1, The King's Shadow, presented by Brave Spirits Theatre, directed by Charlene V. Smith. This recording is produced and edited by Patrick Flynn.